Hey everyone, I'm here to talk to you today about Lurid Lacquer's latest launch. Gotta get all up in the alliteration for Lurid Lacquer. You gotta do what you gotta do. I'm not sure if this is gonna record here, but I've got a cracked screen. It's just my screen protector, so I can't do anything about it right this minute to fix it, and this is the only time I have to record, so we're going with it. I won't talk for too long. Lurid Lacquer is coming out with an absolutely ridiculously beautiful collection, plus a few extra polishes on Friday the 13th of September at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Lurid Lacquer is based out of the Chicago area, so they run out of Central Standard Time. I love this. So Lurid ended up doing a really cool advent calendar, which I will have for you next month because it's for Halloween. They're starting to go out, but you can't open them yet. I will have on the first day that the calendar drops, I'm gonna have a video of everything for the entire calendar. She was nice enough to send them out to us, and I'm really excited. I peeked already. I opened them. I love it. Any overpours from that will also be available during the November launch, if I'm not mistaken. But let's talk about September's launch. September, I'm trying to this is kind of hard because I don't in my car. I don't use tripod. I'm just holding my phone, so this might work. And you get to live in my car with me for a little bit. So this launch for September is part 2, technically. An Unshakable Sense of Foreboding is the theme. This is part 2, and then the calendar itself is 10 polishes, and that's part 1. So part 2 is what is getting released this month, and there's also I think there's going to be gift purchases as well. And then also, in addition to the entire gorgeous collection, there are some extra polishes as well, which are very cool. So the extra polishes aren't part of the collection themselves. There's a couple charity polishes, as well as a polish that Karen shared on her stories that people freaked out over. So she was able to do about 250 bottles of that specific polish as well. That one is Gimme. That one's going to be at the end of my swatches. But the Unshakable Sense of Foreboding collection is gorgeous. I mean, it's full of reflective glitters, it's got shimmers, there's all kinds of stuff for whatever your vibe is, but it's such a good collection heading into fall. So I'm really excited to share that with you. I'm really excited to be able to share that with you. I'm going to get into the swatches, and then I'll chit chat a little bit after. So we're gonna start with one of my favorites, and that is Looming Shadows. And I mean, I definitely have a couple standouts from this collection that are favorites for sure. And Looming Shadows is definitely one of them. And when you see it in natural light, you will see why. I'm also just kind of a sucker for this kind of color vibe. But Looming Shadows is described as a deep, cool, black and brown jelly base with Aurora shimmer that shifts from red to orange to gold, but it also has holographic pigment and silver light reflective glitter, which you can see. So you can see these actually dry pretty textured, but a glitter grabber does the job. I'm showing you 2 coats, just swatch wise. Um, Depending on the length of your nails, you might want 3 for full coverage, but you can see it's pretty packed with reflective glitter and whatnot. I'm filming 2 coats, but I did 3 for my pictures. I think I probably could have gotten away with just 2 though, even on my long nails, but you can see that hollow pigment is just, this is definitely one of my favorites. I love this polish so much. Hollow mixed with reflective is amazing. Next up, we have Burgeoning Dread, which is another one of my favorites from this whole collection.
Really leaning into the fall vibes and like, you know, the browns and all of that stuff, which I really, really, really like this one. It's very, very shifty. Um, and Burgeoning Dread is described as a lightly tinted, cool brown jelly base with Aurora shimmer. And this one shifts from rose gold to orange to green, and it has silver light reflective glitter in it. So it's kind of a funky one because on the nail it looks pretty light. Um, and it's not, this is another that you definitely want glitter grabber with. I would say with all of the reflective glitters from this collection, you're going to want a coat of glitter grabber over them um, because they're packed. I mean, they're fully packed full of reflective glitter, which means they're bumpy. So you could probably do two coats of top coat if you wanted. I just get a glitter grabber. I love glitter grabber. It's one of the top things I have because it just makes it easier. You just slap your top coat on there. So I did two coats here, but because it is a lighter base, you might want three for more coverage. But this is three coats, or this might be two because I'm getting to this one nail line of Burgeoning Dread. Next up, we have Creeping Horror, which is an absolute beauty, and one as absolute beauties are known to be, really hard to photograph and really hard to film. So just trust me when I tell you that this is like much more dynamic in person. And I'm not always the biggest purple person, but this is a really nice one. It's very pretty. Um, but Creeping Horror is described with a rich reddish purple base, and it has purple to pink shimmer and red light reflective glitter. I feel like red light reflective glitter is so fun, but it gets lost super easily in anything I've ever worn with red light reflective glitter, at least for the most part. But it suits this one really well, even though it's like kind of hard to see where it is in the scheme of things. You can kind of see it popping through here. But this is a super pigmented polish, and you can see this one also dries textured after one coat, so another glitter grabber. And this is a two coater, I think, for sure. It's very pigmented. It doesn't have that clear base that some of the others are like, you know, the like a light base. Um, this is definitely just more pigmented with that, you know, reddish purple. It's very rich. So this is a two coater for me. You can definitely see the red light reflective glitter coming through. Um, you know, through here a little bit more, and then when you see it in the sun, it just pops through more. So you can see it's like a really nice, rich purple color. The red is more apparent in person, um, but she's a beauty, especially if you like purples for sure. It's a really good purple. And then we have this lovely and unshakable sense of foreboding, the namesake of the collection in general, and this is a gorgeous one. Everything's gorgeous. I'm gonna call everything gorgeous, but I mean I'll definitely like shout out my faves for sure. An unshakable sense of foreboding is a deep blue, it describes it like a deep blue base with twinkly green to blue aurora shimmer and silver light reflective glitter. There is also the um, what's the word? The heads up that this one might stain. As you can tell, it's pretty pigmented. Greens tend to stain me um, very easily, but I don't always wear these long enough to have staining. So just wear a good base coat. You should be good. As you can see, it does apply really, really nicely. It builds really nicely as well with two coats. And you're definitely going to need glitter grabber because she's packed. I mean, this is just packed, packed, packed full of that silver light reflective glitter. And it's also super, super shifty. So you can see that, like the blue base looks super green because of the green to blue aurora. But it's such a it's just a nice color in general, especially if you're into these, where you can see really shines in the daylight for sure. But I had to take all of this video at my dad's house. I got to use their backyard and use the sun when we didn't have air conditioning in my house, so a little out of my usual polish element. And now we get into Wailing Winds, which is a favorite of mine from this collection. And Lurid keeps making me like purples more than I want to admit. This one's very cool. It's almost metallic-y, honestly. Um, and it is described as a smoky mauve base with Aurora shimmer that shifts from silvery pink to teal. So I do feel like um, the silveryness to it really kind of lends itself to this, but you can see it's a true shimmer. It's not, it's like a shimmer with metallic-y vibes. I really, really like it, and something that my swatch lamp kind of doesn't pick up, which you might just be able to see in lower lighting in general, is that it has a pretty strong blue shift. So it's like a pink to silvery pink to teal shift on here, and I really, really like that about it. And it's a really nice purple in general. Um, I'm just a big fan of this one. You can see when I apply it, some of that blue kind of coming through, but the silvery pink to it is really cool. I'd say that all of the shimmers in this collection are three coaters. They're not like offensively sheer, but as you can tell, I still have some visible nail line. So I did go in just for three coats to build it up a little more. And three coaters, I mean, like I have barely a base coat on. So, if you have a little bit of a blurring base, you're probably good to go. But you can see with the third, that like bluish color pops out a bit more, which is also very, very cool. I love it. Um, Lurid just kind of keeps making me a purple lover, which I'm not really mad at. So this is in natural, just like balcony lighting. Indoors is really wild because that's really where the blue comes out. But you can see when I kind of shift my hands, um, you can see the blue. I actually took some video indoor though because I was just like in awe. You can really see the blue there. And then we're on to Eerie Glow, which is a fave of mine, another one, because I am nothing but predictable with my favorites. I really like this one. It has a nice blue uh, shift to it. It does kind of stay a little green on me though, which is like kind of not my favorite thing, but overall as a color, I really like it. Eerie Glow is described as a semi-sheer, cool pink crelly base, and it has a glowy green Aurora shimmer that shifts subtly to aqua at extremes. So green is the main glow, and it's supposed to be, eerie glow, spooky green. So you can see it's pretty sheer. It's a crowley though, and as per usual, applies like butter, as Lurid likes to do because she makes some amazing polishes. Um, but it's a really nice combo, honestly. It grew on me for sure. Usually I don't like the strong green shimmers because I prefer blue. But this one really, really grew on me and I really enjoyed wearing it. And it's super, super glowy and I love it built up with three coats. Um, I pressed down a little hard in the middle, which is why you have a little bit of extra visible nail line. But three coats really does the trick for this one. I mean, if your nails are shorter, you could probably definitely get away with two. I think it builds really, really nicely. And then I think it is such a flattering pink too. Pinks are hard. Pinks are sometimes not my favorite because they're just hard to make flattering, and Lurid does a really, really good job. And then there is Fading Light, which is described as a sheer violet jelly base with it's described as having super shifty Aurora pigment that shifts from pink to orange to gold. I also do apologize if you can hear background sounds, but time is limited and I don't always have like quiet quiet space. So this is a beauty for sure. I bet this would top her beautifully. So Fading Light, pretty sheer, but really glowy, like super, super, super glowy, as you can see. Um, I enjoy it a lot. It's probably not something I would reach for on the regular, but that's only because I'm a hater and you know, you know how I feel, but I love it. I keep all of my Lurid polishes too. So it just applies beautifully. I definitely want to try it over some other colors as well, but the glow on it is unreal. I'm just always impressed. I'm always impressed at how they, Lurid packs so much glow and shimmer into polish while also having the application be flawless. It's such a good one. So for my purple lovers and pink lovers, you're gonna probably really love this one. It builds really nicely. Um, though if you're, if you're not wearing anything underneath, you'll probably want 3 coats. Your nails are longer. You can see, she's pretty, super shifty, and super gorgeous. Has a really nice, just a really nice shift in general too. And then we have Swirling Mist, which is such a cool color. It's it's really neat. And this is one of the last ones from like the main collection. And Swirling Mist is described as a sheer purpley gray jelly base with like super shifty large particle aurora, and it shifts from green to pink. So you can definitely see the gray base there, and you can really see the green super strong in my lighting as well. Um, but this is a cool one. I really like it. The green comes through really strong on this one. So um, it's a good one though. Swirling Mist is a really good name for it. So the green comes through super strong. As with the others, you probably want to do 3 coats unless your nails are shorter. Um, but not offensively sheer, and you can see on the sides kind of where my nails curve that other that other color coming through, which is fun. Um, but it's a good one. I really, really like it. I don't necessarily think you even need 3 coats for it. I did 3 for opacity, but it hits like the shimmer and all of that in 2 coats, which I really enjoyed with this one. I was trying to get it to shift in this lighting, but it doesn't always do it, but that's why we do this. So there you go. You can see as I bring my hand up that like pink color really shows through like on those angles, which I really, really enjoy. So this is 3 coats of Swirling Mist over my natural nails. So that was the main collection, and these are a few special polishes. I feel like Lurid did something super cool, and she essentially duped herself, which I think is awesome. There are 2 versions of this polish, Autumnal Beauty, and one has Aurora pigment, that's this one, and the other one has sibling UP pigment. So I'm showing you the Aurora first, and then I'm going to show you swatches of the UP pigment, and then I'm going to show you side by side swatches of them together, just application. I don't have video like in sunlight of them together, but you'll see how close they are. So both polishes have a deep purple base. This one has Aurora shimmer that shifts from golden orange to green, and the other is also deep purple base, and it has a sibling UP shimmer that shifts from gold to green to blue. And both have a this may stain warning, and as you can see, these are very pigmented. I'm sure they will stain if you don't wear a good base coat with it. But I'm gonna be honest with you, UP, if you don't know, is a pigment that is very hard to get. Um, so it's usually the polishes are pretty expensive. I love that Lurid duped themselves because not everyone wants to spend 26 bucks. I had to have the bottle so I knew what I was filming. Um, the UP polishes will be capped at 100 because of the pigment being hard to get. They're expensive, so they're 26 a bottle. The Aurora are 14. And yeah, so not everyone likes UP. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm definitely one who kind of doesn't get it. So I think the UP polishes are gorgeous. There's something like a little extra sparkly about them, and you can see that, but it is kind of just the same. You can see the blue at certain angles. It's kind of just, you know, it's UP, it's special. A lot of people like them, but like I said, it's a low cap, and if it's not like your, you know, unless you're like a big lover of it, I love that she was like, listen, if this isn't your cup of tea, you don't want to spend 26 bucks on a polish, UP doesn't mean anything to you. Here's the Aurora, you know, sibling to it, if you will. So this is the UP version. You can see the pigment is much finer than the Aurora and just as pigmented. I think the colors are very slightly different, and I would assume that just has to do with the shimmer more than the actual base of the polish. Um, but this is the UP. My lighting doesn't really um, show certain shifts super well. So you can see the sparkliness here. In person, this does have a much stronger shift in general. This is the UP polish. And then this is just like natural daylight. It's harder because the pigment is finer too. It's not as, you know, it's not the same pigment as the Aurora. It's hard to tell, but you can see the green shift there as well. They're both really beautiful and so nice for fall. So on both nails, this is the UP pigment. You can see they go on about the same. And then with the other one, you'll see kind of on that first coat, they're like a little bit different. It also is, you know, how I applied. I tried to apply them evenly. It almost looks like the one with the Aurora is a little bit of a cooler color, and I think that might just be the Aurora versus the UP. But you can see here, there's like a very slight difference, but nothing too crazy. And that's just really one coat of each. And then I'm going to go in for a second coat just to make sure that, you know, you got to build it up. It's super pigmented. I mean, you might need to go for 3 if you have long nails, but it's a pretty pigmented polish overall. You can see I have a little bit of visible nail line, but my nails are really long right now. Overall, they're really good dupes. I just can't get enough. I love that she did this. I love that she thought enough to give people the option who either don't care for UP or who don't want to drop the money but want the polish, who don't want to have to make sure they're on. They look really, really close here. They're like a little, you can tell in person they're a little bit different, but you know, it's just the pigment sizes too, which you can really, really see here. But they are perfect autumnal beauties. And this is one of my favorites that I that I put on from this collection. I love a red. I love red polish so much, and this is that. So this is Blood Bag, and October is Bleeding Disorder Awareness Month, and this is also the month that Karen, who is the owner of Lurid Lacquer, was diagnosed with a rare autoimmune blood disorder. Um, I cannot pronounce it, but the anagram for it is TTP. So with that comes lots of plasma donors, lots of, you know, blood donors. So she wanted to make something special for that. And Blood Bag is a rich oxblood base with Aurora shimmer that shifts from red to orange. And it is incredibly pigmented, as you can see even from coat 1. I just did 2 coats over my nails. You are 100% going to want to wear a really good base coat with this because it's going to stain you. But it's going to be worth it. This is one of my favorite polishes that I've put on in a while. There's a few of them in here that are really, really, really good. But this is just a really, really deep, rich oxblood. And the Aurora on it is so good. Like, I don't think it's too orangey or anything like that. It's just like this really rich color that is just a full delight. It has 2 coats, super, super pigmented, and you can see it's super red over my natural nails, non-blurring base. I just have, you know, my clear peeling on for these, and you can see here that it's the vampy red of your dreams. It's the vampy red of my dreams, at least. And I was trying to get that like color to pop through, but sometimes my lighting's extra dark, but this is really how deep it is. And then this sweet polish is almost the last of the collection, but not quite yet. It's not the part of the collection, but this is I Love You Always, and it's a semi-sheer indigo jelly base with Aurora shimmer that shifts from green to purple. And this is also a personal one for Lurid, and her birthday is October 15th, which is Libra season, and we're gonna see a polish that she made to celebrate that. But this is for Pregnancy and Infant Loss Remembrance Day, which is also October 15th, which is very close to Karen's heart. I won't, I don't have any details, but I won't speak on it either because I don't want to, trigger anything in anybody as well who has dealt with that. But this is I Love You Always, and it is a really, really beautiful polish. It's very shifty. It is sheer, so you probably will want 3 coats if you have longer nails. And she's beauty. I mean, Karen makes a good blue, and it's really, really shifty. My lighting doesn't shift as much as I would like, but we do what we can. But that's why I do the natural light as well. It's a sheer polish, but it's so bright and lovely. And it's a really lovely polish in general. And Karen will be donating to Planned Parenthood to continue their support, to continue their fight to protect reproductive rights. And so this one will be going to Planned Parenthood and some donations from this purchase. And then this is it in natural light. You can really see the purple shift on it. You can still see that it's pretty sheer, even with 3 coats over a clear base, but it is really, really glowy. Gotta get the sun shots however we can. And from like the main collection, if you will, this is Sparkling Indecision, which is another one of my faves that is to Karen made to celebrate her birthday. She's a Libra. Her birthday is October 15th, and Sparkling Indecision is one of my favorites. It is a clear base and it's packed with large particle Aurora shimmer that shifts from pink to orange to gold, and it also is full of silver light reflective glitter. So the pink is the strongest on here, as you can see. It has a clear base, so it's not gonna be really opaque. You'll just kind of want a more of a blurring base, but you can see it dries down and needs glitter grabber for sure. I'm only gonna swatch 2 because just so you can kind of see. I did do 3 for my final video though, or my final like pictures and everything that you see. It builds really nicely for being a clear base though. I mean, even with 2, you can see how opaque it can, well, not opaque, I guess, but how my nail line is blurred. But it's still, it's a clear base, so you're only going to get so much coverage in general. But this is 3 coats with some technical difficulties. This is 3 coats over my natural nail, so you can definitely still see my nail line on here. And yeah, but not too shabby. I mean, if I was wearing this in my day to day, I think I would probably just have like a bit of a blurring pink base on just so it's a little less aggressively visible nail line. But I wanted to show everyone kind of what it looks like clear instead of popping it over something else. But I love it. I love it so much. This is right up my alley. And last but not least, we have Gimme. And Gimme was a beautiful teaser that Lurid Karen shared in her stories, and people like freaked out about it because I mean, look at it, and they wanted it, and she decided to release it this month. So this will be available also, tentatively capped at 250 bottles. and it is described as a pink crelly base with Aurora microflake that shifts from green to blue and violet at extremes, and it has bright pink reflective glitter in it, which it needs a glitter grabber for sure. And I'm showing a lot of green right now, which my light does, but the blue shift on this one is really, really apparent in real life. I don't actually know if this needs 3 coats. I mean, you've got some visible downline here, but it doesn't bother me. It's pretty pigmented. Um, you can do 3 if you want. You're definitely gonna need a glitter grabber no matter what. But when you do a 3rd coat, I feel like it really deepens the color, if that's your thing. I kind of like it in 2. But I did do 3 because I wanted to see what kind of coverage we could get, and I think we did a good job. You can see the shifts here. I'm just out in my work parking lot. And now we're gonna go back to my car.
And we're back. What do you think? What are you picking up? I'm obsessed with everything. There's about a 250 bottle cap for everything. And there's also some stuff coming back as well. Karen shared a whole list that went up on the Facebook page. There's not like an official Facebook fan group, but Lurid Lacquer has a Facebook. I'll link it in my my description, and also on the Instagram page, which I will also link. And then I have pictures of everything and swatches of everything up on my Instagram at Polished Bookworm. Let me know if you have any questions about how anything applies. My swatch lighting, as you know, is like pretty bright, but then that's why I do the natural light on the other side, so you can kind of see how everything looks in real life. But that's everything. Once again, the shop opens on the 13th of September at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Things tend to go pretty fast. If there was an overpour that you did want, make sure you're on, because the bottle caps are pretty low, but she's been bringing everything back. So, you know, if you don't get it this time, you'll hopefully get it next time. There will probably be overpours of everything available for the November launch as well. But I will see you later. I will see you definitely. I definitely will be here for with a Hella Handmade Creations video. I will be back with some Bees Knees Lacquer this month as well. And then let me know if you have any questions. Let me know what you're picking up, and I'll talk to you later.